Hello everybody and welcome back to another blind commentary of Overlord, episode 8 of season 2, A Boy's Feeling. Alrighty then. I have no clue what that might be referring to. Well, I do have a clue. It probably is referring to climb. Yeah, probably. Well, let's just get on with the episode. It's actually a pretty interesting point that Klein was taught that by somebody else. He was taught that a strike from above, that slash, if I remember correctly. That's actually a pretty interesting point, that he is very much reliant on other people assisting him as much as possible, which kind of explains what Stronov was saying about him being rather weak, to be honest. So it's pretty good to get some more clarification on that. Interesting. That was a very direct hint at demonic pacts. That's interesting. I didn't know that there were such pacts in this world, which makes sense that there would be, because obviously has to be ways to gain power quickly. But I wonder what exactly kind of pacts those are and what kind of demons you form them with. It would be interesting to see. Well, that is kind of a Chekhov's gun, possibly, that they were setting that up so that Klein could potentially have an opportunity to resign his humanity in the future. That would be rather interesting to see that happen, but it's unlikely that that will happen. But that's kind of a hint at that. That was rather interesting. Having Lachius have the cursed black sword like that, that's pretty odd. I wonder how exactly powerful that is. Well, at the very least, the show still tries to keep its sense of humor with it, and at the very least, with all of the seriousness, that they are giving a very good... Why do I keep saying this same thing over and over again? But it's a good juxtaposition. It's what the show does pretty well. It juxtaposes two very different moods with one another and makes for a very different types of moods and changes between them rather effectively to create a very, very effective contrasts, making all of the scenes seem quite a bit more refreshing than they would be if they were just all in the same mood. What an effect! Oh man, I love Sebas. I'm really impressed by Sebas. I really hope that nothing bad will happen to him, because I will be heartbroken. He is definitely one of my favorite characters, if not the favorite, because I just absolutely love how much humanity he has in him and how chivalrous he actually is. It's pretty admirable. Once again, it's pretty interesting to see Klein just going after strong people in just trying to gain all of their moves, like, gotta catch them all. It's actually pretty interesting to see him going around and collecting different moves. It kind of reminds me of Ainz, actually, and that's actually pretty interesting. I quite like that kind of that kind of similarity between Climb and Ainz, that they are both going around collecting information and knowledge and just general skills. Even though we don't know how many martial skills Ainz actually has collected, but I would presume that he has collected few of them at the very least.
動きを見て、その技術を少しでも教えてもらえればと思ってお願いしています。死なない自信があると
It would be really funny if Climb was just a throwaway character to develop Sebas's character and he would die from this training. That would be really hilarious. Well, no, that would be actually kind of sad. But that would be really quite something.
了解しました。ではここで稽古を乗り切った感想はどうですか？ショック死しなくてよかったですよ。時にはあるんです。死を覚悟。
That's pretty hilarious. Congratulations. You didn't die from me just staring at you. I love Sebas. I just absolutely love him. He's freaking great. Just absolutely fantastic. That's pretty hilarious. Just like I just stared at you and you almost died. Congratulations on not doing that, I suppose.
してしまったがゆえに生命を維持することを
Ooh, this is gonna be rather interesting. Is there an ending scene? Oh, it would appear not. Alrighty then. Well, that had me rather quiet for majority of the latter half of the episode. I was actually just paying attention to the battle because that was rather entertaining. Don't blame me for it, for the show having some actually kind of entertaining battles. Mostly it was just minor amusement at Sebas's power and some good moves from the side of the I'm actually kind of sad that we didn't get to see Anglau's fight, but we have already seen his skills, so there's no need for him to prove himself. But yeah, it's overall a pretty sweet episode, I would say. I rather enjoyed it, actually. That's pretty nice. It was quite nice, quite enjoyable, I would say. There's not much else to be said, however. It's the first half of the episode was mostly just Climb chatting with those two adventurers, Evil Eye and someone, and that was a nice enough of a chat. It was pretty good, some character development and some good story progression, and yeah, that was just generally fine. I quite enjoyed it, but the latter half was actually far more enjoyable because I just absolutely adore Sebas. He's definitely one of my favorite characters, if not the favorite character, so it's quite enjoyable to see him just fight, because he's definitely rather strong, even though he's about half as strong as the rest of the Guardians and Ainz. But still, regardless, he's actually really... because he has such an interesting, benevolent personality, which is a breath of fresh air in the sea of Ainz's tyranny. Well, it's kind of harsh to call it tyranny, but you know what I mean. It's kind of nice to have something far more benevolent for a change. So it's quite nice. This is something that the show really does quite well, and that is the juxtaposition of different moods, and even intersplicing some jokes in between some more serious topics. And yeah, that's really quite nice for the show to do. But overall, it's a rather mediocre episode. Disregarding the Sebas half, it was very uneventful, and even with Sebas, it was rather slow, to be honest. Not poorly paced by any means, but it really kind of lacked content. So yeah, but it was still nice to watch Sebas kick some ass. That was overall quite nice. Yeah. And it's nice seeing him team up with Climb and Unglaus. Or Brain. That's nice. it has some nice. This episode had some nice aspects to it, but yeah, mostly I just love Sebas. So yeah. That being said, I thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day and stay awesome. And move out. Thank you very much for watching.